Hi, Amanda. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for seeing me on short notice.
Oh, you're welcome. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over a few things. I know we talked a little bit on the phone. I am the lead BCBA at the Autism Home Support, and I'll be working with you and your son. And this is something that I need to go over with, especially it being our first session. So if there's anything that is said in our meeting will be kept confidential unless you or your son present a danger to yourself or others or a subpoena by court. I don't think this will be happening, but I just had to go over it.
Of course, I understand.
Yeah. So the focus today is so that we can get a brief view on why you're here and some background information on your family and what you think will be helpful about what's going on. So, okay, so just to get started, can you tell me a little bit of information about your family?
Yeah, so Johnny is my son. He's 4.5, and he is our only child, and we love him dearly. It's just my husband and myself, and then Johnny. And Johnny, he's not yet in school. We just he's always shared a bed with us, or at least stayed in our bedroom. But recently, my husband and I have decided that we want him to kind of merge away from that and just start to gain some independence. And we really just want to have our personal life back and have some time for ourselves, independent of him being there. So
Right. Definitely understand that. So you say your son is about 4.5?
Yeah, he's 4.5.
Okay, great. Can you tell me a little bit about your home? What is the layout? Do you live in a house, apartment? This is just help.
So we have a townhouse. Basically, the first floor is the garage, and then there's a bedroom down there that we used to use as an office, and now we've converted that into Johnny's bedroom. Okay. On the second floor, that's kind of like the main floor in the house. We have a living room, the master bedroom, and then the bathroom is in the master bedroom as well. So Johnny's been sleeping with us in there for the past few years.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like so Johnny's been sleeping with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so when he was just a baby, we had his crib in the bedroom, and then once he outgrew the crib, we just had him sleep between my husband and I, and so he was always in there with us, and he was very comfortable, and we were okay. But then we decided that we wanted to start making that transition because he's going to go to school first. We don't want him to be really, super attached and have a hard time with that transition.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you're ready for him to kind of be on his own. So is that why you're here today, or is there something else? What would you like to talk about today?
So today, so basically we're working on this transition with him, and he's having a hard time with the transition. We're putting him to bed, and within like a few minutes, or like 30 to 45 minutes of us putting him down, he's coming into our bedroom to sleep with us. And because he's crying and I'm his mom, I don't want to, I've thought maybe he's not ready, but a friend of mine suggested that, I talk to someone just about, trying to see how we can make that work better, because she thinks that he should be transitioned already.
Right. So I hear your conflict with wanting him to sleep with you, but at the same time, you feel like he should be ready to sleep on his own by now.
Yes.
Great.
So I just need some advice on how to do that and how to kind of set those boundaries.
Right. Well, good for you. I'm glad that you're, you're open to doing that, and you're already starting the process. So that's great. Can you tell me how often he's sleeping with you? Is this an everyday occurrence, or how often?
Before we put him in the other bedroom, he was sleeping with us every night. Mm-hmm. Now that we've transitioned him into his own bedroom, it's every night that he's trying to come into our bed. Okay. And so I don't know if it's just because he's downstairs and he's, alone on his own floor and he wants to be up with us, or anything that we can do to make that easier for him, because the first floor has a bedroom, and we didn't want him to be in the upstairs bedroom and us downstairs because we were worried about him falling down the stairs. But having him downstairs, at least if something like that happens, he goes upstairs to us instead.
Okay. So it sounds like there's been some changes, and and now he's sleeping upstairs on his own. Can you tell me a little bit more about what it looks like on a typical night that he doesn't want to go to sleep in his room?
Yeah, so pretty much we put him to bed and we say goodnight. He stays in there for about 30 minutes and then he comes out wandering with his blanket and just comes up to us and says, I want to sleep with you. I'm scared. I don't want to be by myself. And we try to calm him down and put him back to bed, and it's just not working. He comes right back to us again. And then because we're tired and exhausted and, you know, we don't want him to go to bed too late, we just let him sleep with us.
Okay. And I understand it can be very frustrating at night when you're trying to go to bed yourself and your young one doesn't want to go to sleep. So
Exhausting.
Really hard. Exactly. Okay, so I think that we got some information about your son and going to bed. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about in regards to him not sleeping?
I was just wondering, you know, maybe it's just quiet. You know, we're out in the country. It's just super quiet. You know, maybe, I mean, what are your thoughts on helping him go to sleep? Do you think it's something like we need to do noise, or why do you think we need to, what do you have suggestions, or should we set up a different time? I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh, don't worry about taking up my time. We have a few more minutes, but this meeting is about us getting a little bit of background information, but have you tried anything? I'm just a little bit curious to see what you've tried so far or anything that you've heard of.
Just repeatedly putting him back in the bed. And then we give up by like the third time because my husband has to wake up early for work, and, you know, we want him to get rest and I want to get rest. So
I did hear about a white noise machine. Have you ever heard about that? Maybe that's something that we could explore next time.
okay.
We can talk about those things too when we meet again next week, if you're open to meeting next week.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Okay, great. Okay, so it sounds like we talked a little bit about the problem is that your son Johnny is not falling asleep. There has been some changes with where he's sleeping, and he used to sleep with you for a while, but now he's sleeping upstairs alone. So possibly next week, we could talk a little bit more about some strategies and go back and forth about, you know, you're trying some things out and seeing that they work, or maybe not. We can look at maybe me coming out there or exploring this a little bit further.
That would be good. Thank you. This sounds perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. So thank you.
Great. So are you open to next week?
Yeah, this time works perfect if you're available. So this day and time.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'll put you down for next week and the same time, same day, and sounds good. Thank you, Amanda, for coming in today.
Oh, thank you. I know it was short notice, so I appreciate you seeing me.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. All right.
Have a good day.
All right.